Welcome to the Leadership Greenhouse. If we have not met before, my name is Luke Etelamaki, and I have the joy and privilege of working with our SKNB family of churches. And it's an honor and privilege to be able to walk with you and your churches as you look to develop leaders. I am thrilled that you've chosen this series, the Leadership Greenhouse series, as a worthwhile investment of time and energy to pour yourself into for the sake of developing future leaders in your church. I don't know if you're familiar with the name Morgan Spurlock or not. You might know him from his movie in the early 2000s called Super Size Me. Morgan was curious what would happen to his body if he ate nothing but McDonald's for every meal of the day for 30 days straight. And so he tried it. From February 1st to March 2nd, he ate nothing but McDonald's. Now, most of us probably have a pretty good idea that if you ate nothing but McDonald's for 30 days straight, it isn't going to do great things to your body. And well, if you think so, you're right. For Morgan, it didn't. He experienced all kinds of side effects along with weight gain. So the lesson's been learned for you. If you're trying to get in shape or get your body ready for beach season, the McDiet is not the way to go. See, you and I, we probably know if we want to have healthy bodies, there's a level of intentionality required. You're going to be intentional about what you eat or what you don't eat, right? So some foods you're going to say yes to. You're intentionally going to eat those foods. And for other foods, you're going to be intentionally saying, "Get behind me, Satan." So just like healthy bodies are the result of intentionality, healthy churches are also the result of intentionality. There are many different things that we need to be intentional about to see our churches move towards a state of health. From theology to the gospel culture to a mission to good godly preaching. And we can go on and on and on about all these things. But there is one area that will have the greatest impact on our church's health, and that is leadership. Healthy leaders lead to healthy churches. You see, everything from theology, culture, mission, programs, whatever it is, it all flows downstream from leaders to the rest of our churches. Because you're watching this, my guess is that you and your team you want to see your church develop leaders. And as you look around, you're noticing that your leadership bench might be a little thin. So before we can get into the how of leadership development, we have to start by defining what we want to develop, and that's healthy leaders. In my years as a church planter and lead pastor, I have made the mistake of putting people into leadership positions or inviting them to be part of teams that I've been on that showed leadership ability and potential, but sadly were not healthy leaders. And what this always led to was a negative result. It led to a negative result for me as a pastor. I had to go and put out fires. It led to a negative result for our church family. They suffered and experienced pain because of this. And it led to a negative result for that leader that was put in a position prematurely. You see, our churches need healthy leaders. When it comes to developing leaders, we want to develop healthy leaders. And to do this, we need to be intentional about what we're developing and investing in. And that's our future leaders. So, a question that you were asked to think about as part of your homework before this video was, what makes up a healthy leader? Now that's a huge question, and I wish I could be part of the discussion you had around the leadership table as you started or before you started this video. And we probably could take all your answers and debate and work through them, but if we were to filter them all down to three main categories, I'm assuming we'd see three things. That healthy leaders have healthy theology, healthy character, and great competency. What we're going to refer to those three things as head, heart, and hands. Head is theology, heart is character, and hands is competency or skills. You see, healthy leaders have a good theological foundation. They understand the basics of our faith. They understand the mission of the church. They understand and enjoy the beauty of the gospel. They also have a character that aligns with the qualifications of a deacon or elder found in 1 Timothy chapter 3. They are people who are fighting sin and growing in Christ-likeness. Finally, healthy leaders have a competency to lead. They are gifted or have the skills to lead others. They understand what is needed when it comes to challenges that they're facing. So, that is what a healthy leader can be boiled down to. Okay, Now it's your turn to roll up your sleeves and get your hands dirty. As a team, one of the ongoing discussions I'd like for you to have as we go through this series is around the head, heart, and hands of potential leaders. The question is, what would you want to see potential leaders possess in these three areas? What do you want them to know theologically? What kind of character are you looking for? What skills do you think they need to be successful? We'll be coming back to these questions in a couple weeks, and we'll be coming back to looking at head, heart, and hands. But I want you to start thinking through and discussing this now. What would be 3 to 5 things under each one of these areas that you think would be foundational for a leader in your church to possess in order for you to call them healthy? I'm praying for you that as we go through this series and this process, that God is at work in you and your team and your churches to help you put together a workable plan to develop leaders in your church. See, healthy leaders don't just happen. They're the result of an intentional investment made by you and your church to see them developed.